That's what I meant to happen. That's right there. That's what I was trying to do.
Ask the maiden what's going on. She explains that she came here on her own and was never in danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero.
No, because we're trying to not be heroic.
You hope she'll just let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserved this.
Oh.
So that's the tragic hero. And so we've done pretty much all the paths that involve the hero being dutiful. So now we can go for the hero being diplomatic, and...
Everything you've done has only hurt them.
Okay, that will lead to the true end, but if we have her be possessive... Let's do the possessive one. Yeah, there we go.
No, you got turn off. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, remember, it doesn't matter about what he has, because we're going to make him diplomatic. Then we ask the maiden what's going on.
What's going on?
But the Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like this. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her.
You leave me no choice.
The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You're helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way, only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. And there's the naive hero. So let's take a look here. Hero's got 5 other endings. So we've already done the possessive, so we need her not to be possessive and just allow for that route, but instead we're going to do her being antisocial. And we need to have the maiden be obedient. So we make her obedient, and she's still antisocial. So go through these, and yeah, we don't want to be dutiful, because that can give us both routes for this. So here we go. We'll flee this time. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. So now, we're usually just be trusting.
Ooh. I'm interested to see what happens if we're trusting.
Yep. We know what happens if she can't be trusted.
You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. By the way, if you
Now they're
notice,
just gonna burn both of us.
when we had the maiden do this before, the hero was not trusting. The two of you return to the village. They had all been worried. They praised you for your bravery. The maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being settled on how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate the fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking about what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately, and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you've returned. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You're not sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions had convinced the crowd that she was obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and to talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into the demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks, the Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You'd only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to this castle, but the smoke is so thick now, you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons.
Oh,
Interesting.
so did we get that ending already?
Kind of.
Yeah, I guess we technically did.
We technically got the bystander, but we didn't get a lot of details.
We
along
got
the
the
way.
bystander B, I think it was, or something.
Mm-hmm. So it seems that, like, when we trust her, there's something going on with the underling and with the maiden. Oh, everything you've done has only hurt them more.
Yeah, I've already said that, but
Nerd.
Alright, well, I'm going to quickly get the other version for the maiden, but we do now have the trusting option for the hero, which reminds me, though, for the maiden, on her route.
something happens to me when you're trusting.
Oh, so here's something for her if the hero is trusting. There's a bunch of other endings that we can get for her now that the hero is trusting, it looks like.
Yeah, neato.
And we need to also do the true ending where the Overlord is not merciful real quick, too, for her. But it looks like... Yeah, we have to have her go back alone and have him be disloyal. Alright. So have him be disloyal. Have a trusting hero. And we have her be obedient. So let's go. We are doing that. We are obedient. We go here. He's very surprised the demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and so very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for explanation. He tells them that he only ran into you on his way to the castle, and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord, and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or any other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation, and you feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, If you were conspiring with demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would have been slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. You're going to be held captive by your hot demon girlfriend. I mean,
yeah.
Overlord person. Yeah, no.
Ooh,
Oh,
resolute.
we can be resolute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely different. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Alright, we've seen
Oh,
this before.
this is that other route to get to the true end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we can have the hero just be trusting and not diplomatic even. So
Yeah.
it looks like the maiden can be obedient and still get that ending.
Because yeah, see,
Mhm.
that this was that other route. If we would have just ran away alone, then we wouldn't have gone over here.
Yeah, and here's the resolute path for it. So, ooh, we can get the last Overlord ending now. We had to have him be disloyal and him be trusting.
And what do
him
we
be
need
hungry.
to do?
So, okay, she needs to be a tyrant, causing the underling who is hungry, with the Overlord awakening, having a disloyal time, and then trusting. Okay.
We can actually go through without him being hungry. Go back to that page real quick. There's multiple ways for that to go. Follow the middle path.
Oh,
What is that
means
one?
we have to have her be antisocial and her be obedient. So, I mean, if we leave her obedient, we can do that. So, obedient, slow. Okay, yeah, we can run that. So, we just tell her to leave and be antisocial. Alright, grant the day off, and antisocial. And the maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you might as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings? Okay, so this is back to the true end, so we'll forgive them. So reset the stage.
So what did we
So-
do wrong?
I think it says she can't be resolute. Oh, wait, no. Keep collecting these bad ends. No, I don't want to exit. Alright, Overlord. So trusting,
I
wait.
think it's
No, he still needs to be hungry. He does need to eat her at some point, I think.
No, I think the maiden just. But yeah, like. just
I think she
having-
needs to not be obedient.
No, because
Well, look,
Yeah,
because
see,
there's
Yeah,
like
see, look, there's the two branches.
but see,
So
that's the
she
thing. Is
can-
if she's obedient, then the Overlord gets the choice of letting the maiden go. And so that's if she's stuck around. But if she is obedient, the Overlord wakes up.
mm. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter if she's a tyrant or not. I think that's what he's trying to get at. But he does have to be hungry. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah, so he needs to eat her. I'll be the tyrant. You're awakened by one of your underlings. The one that talks about, like, getting lunch breaks or whatever. Who gives a shit?
Ugh, this guy.
I
Again.
just want 15 minutes breaks.
Oh, you're willing to negotiate down. Okay. You originally were saying 30 minutes, which was unacceptable.
Those are for lunches.
How do you feel about 10-second lunch breaks?
Mm.
Sounds like a teacher to me.
You are awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. You tell them you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He leaves you and goes home. To your surprise, you figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad you get to go back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing at your throat, and, you curse at them, choking on your own blood. You'll die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent that, so that's back to assassinated. So what's going on here? Something's going on with this ending. So he needs to be trusting, and he needs to be disloyal.
What if he's not disloyal, though, and he's trusting?
But if he's... Oh, because the coward.
So not
So
a
you're
coward,
right.
but not disloyal.
Yeah, so maybe he
Yeah.
just needs to die instead.
Well,
So I'll be tyrannical still. Oh, well, we die.
no, because he needs to be. The girl needs to be not dead. So I'm
Oh.
You're still
okay.
hungry.
Oh, wait, I think you're right. So we let him off. We hear voices in the hall. You aren't sure how long you slept. The sound of the shutting door forces you awake. All right, so we're back to being on fire.
Did that
No,
get us
I'm
in?
not hungry.
No.
I am so confused how we get
Okay.
there.
Okay, wait. So we go here, and I think it's best just to keep on the tyrant side of things. Just to
Sure.
keep this. So tyrant, hungry, and wake up. And we need him to be disloyal, but not a coward. So this is the assassinated ending, but we need a hero who's trusting.
And
It would have disloyal and a coward then. Maybe that's it.
Well, no, I think we need him to be disloyal. I'm gonna try this real quick. So we're gonna be tyrant. Alright.
Maybe we need
So-
to, like,
Try to make him a... Yeah, go back to the thing. I think he has to be disloyal, trusting, and a coward, I think.
So
Hmm.
hero needs to be trusting for certain. Hmm.
I mean, just turn out a coward, see what
Alright,
happens.
Yeah, we can try.
If we get the same ending, then we
there's
get
a
it
fourth
wrong.
trait he doesn't have yet.
Alright, well,
Yeah, I was wrong. Okay.
maybe we have to do more stuff for the hero. Like
There's a
dutiful.
fourth trait that the underling doesn't have yet.
That's true, but we already got all the. Oh wait, I remember the underling doesn't get a fourth trait because the underling has like the least amount of stuff.
Damn.
Ouch.
No, he does. He does get one. See,
Oh,
right there.
Okay, over here. So this is if we have. All right, so we gotta go here. We have obviously we don't eat her. We are disloyal though. Have her be antisocial, her be obedient, and him be trusting.
And then we get an option. So not resolute. No, because she's resolute.
Well, it's too late.
Yep, disloyal.
No, you're sick of this overlord hunting you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take the day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed, and you assure them that you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have fun. Alright. We don't eat her. We go for the kill. Alright.
That was
So,
not
yeah,
it.
Turn off the resolute. So overthrow her. Don't eat her. Kill. Okay. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this.
Ooh.
Used him.
That's the
Native
one we're
kill.
that's the one we're missing.
You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden's very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. Now a hero's arrived at the front gates. He asks about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other cliche hero lines before driving a sword into the gatekeeper's torso. Well, there goes his lunch breaks. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without being cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out.
What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel?
You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. finish off the hero next. You can't revive him. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. Alright, so yeah, that's your new
Lord
Lord.
Underling.
Yeah.
Underling A.
Alright.
Yeah, so interesting.
So yeah, we have
So
the
it's just a
capper.
different way to get to that one, which is fine. But now we have his other trait,
Mhm.
And so now
which
hear me out.
mean
Don't make him hungry. Do make him...
Yeah, the captor doesn't really affect this, it looks like. So to get hers, it's something we
let's
can
do trusting and captor. Let's see if that changes it.
So having him be a captor and having him be trusting,
Yeah,
and keep her obedient, and
Yeah.
Hungry, I think, as well.
no, because we don't want him to eat her.
Okay.
Or do we? Do we want him to eat her?
It's
It
on the
doesn't
chart,
matter.
isn't it?
It branches both ways.
All right, let's take a look, because there's another option. So if we chose not to be a tyrant, we can go down this path, but we need to be antisocial, and we have to have the maiden be obedient.
Mm-hmm.
And then that should theoretically lead us over here. So yeah, we'll keep that then. Because hold on, I'm gonna take a look at the other route for this. The other route, if we go this path, is just having him be slow and us being spiteful, or them being trusting and resolute. Okay. So yeah, I think we're good. So we gotta be antisocial.
Yeah, but not a tyrant.
Graham day off. Antisocial. Alright, you wake up to the sound of a battle. A hero's cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take charge in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Since you were replacing the hero, Harry.
Vile demons! I shouldn't have trusted, I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all.
You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. A girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the others to make a move, when one of your underlings appear behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but couldn't they see that this is a duel? They don't respond. You sense murder.
Why does when he looks like this, he looks like he's crying?
Because he doesn't. So the thing is, even though he can be evil, I don't think the underling actually wants to be evil.
No,
Nope.
I'm saying like the fact that he has 4 eyes, the smaller eyes make him look like he's constantly crying.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, though. That I think that's why the design is like that. It's kind of to denote, like, this isn't what the underling really wants.
Nope, he literally is gonna die if he doesn't do it, so he does it.
Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with her claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Okay, so that's betrayed. Oh, there we go, we did it. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 4. So we'll read these in order once we get them, but for now...
I believe now, if we do a maiden ending while he is the captor, shoot this to another bad end.
Oh yeah, so we
Yep.
have disloyal, and then we have the version where he's disloyal and not the captor, and disloyal and
So
the
what do we
captor.
need to choose before that?
Okay, so first off, we go here. She's antisocial, we're obedient. He is trusting, and we are not resolute. So we had to go alone.
Okay,
So I'm going to turn off captor first, and he is indeed trusting.
she's antisocial, so it works.
Alright. We'll be polite just because, and we will be obedient. And we leave on our own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stand just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognized from before is the first to do something about it. DJ?
Oh, yeah.
He walked away?
Yeah.
Alright, well, Hannah, do your best DJ impersonation.
No,
We had the windows up and I was close. Oh, hi, birdies.
he had something to say.
This is just the way it has to be.
They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. So we got the Slaughtered Maiden. Set the stage, and we'll make him a captor now. Introduce. Obey. Leave on your own. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry
I'll be right
out.
back, guys.
Okay. But the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown into a cell back in your village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you.
Oh, you die in a cell.
Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Alright, and there's one last maiden ending. And that is where we go through the true ending. So I'll just have her be resolute. So we need to have her be merciful for... Oh, wait, no, we want her not to be merciful for this. So, boom, polite, obedient, resolute. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. So we got the Devout Maiden. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 2. So let's reset the stage once more.
One more letter left.
Yep, and it's just for the hero. This shouldn't be too long, so let's see here. We knocked all those out, so let's take this ending. So we flee, are diplomatic, and the underling was hungry. So hungry underling. Let's go for it. So flee, diplomacy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to understand doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion, and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. So now we have the useless hero. Okay, 4 endings left. Alright, so for this path, have her be antisocial, have him be dutiful, and her obedient. Oh, no tutorial. So she's obedient, not hungry, so we'll be dutiful. She runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk back past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. The smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as the flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role.
Just watching.
So 3 endings left for the hero. Alright, so flee, have her be obedient, and we talk. We be trusting. And the underling is disloyal and a captor. So, disloyal, captor.
You must really be enjoying my theater.
Alright. Skip forward. We flee. We trust. As you stand there, not sure what to do, the maiden announces that she's going to prove the story to the village. She drags you along with her. Oops, well, I guess we got resolute. I forgot to turn that off. She drags you along with her. She has a much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits. As you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating their overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures.
I have to tell her about this.
You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by a group from the entrance, who shift the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. The Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. You have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety. If you had to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord is taking hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord, and the underling's corpse are all consumed by flames. Alright, so we need her to not be resolute this time. Alright, skip forward. Alright, we will flee like a coward. Believe her story. We reach the gates. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen a maiden. They have. They inform you that she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return they lock her up. So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now.
What the fuck are you doing killing all my soldiers?
The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easy. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end.
Unlucky hero.
Okay, so now we do want her to be resolute, and we want her to be merciful. So we will flee, we will believe, Is she going to kill it as retribution? He continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? I guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together.
Hero's true end.
A letter flares down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 1.
Read the letters.
Is Harry back yet? Harry stepped away for a little bit, so I was wanting to wait for him for the letters, but
Slutty show now.
I mean, we got through like 4 or 5 endings without him, so I guess he's being held up for longer than I thought. Alright, well, let's go through the letters. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this, it's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then, maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I've opened up my very own theater. You'd be so proud. If you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could just become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it, wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy.
And then people don't like this.
My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't been exactly kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts, one I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day, even now. I wonder if, somewhere, you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Alright, so it's kinda late, so I think we should save this for next time. Alright?
Alright.
Let's get
the ending next time.
We'll do the true ending and the final ending next Tuesday, so say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.